What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react to British police versus a man with a knife. So today, I want to take a look at this British police body cam video. So it says here this whole situation occurred in a place called Northamptonshire, which is honestly, that is the most British sounding place ever, by the way. Northamptonshire. And other than that, I don't really have a lot of context here. It says police encountered a man threatening them with an 8-inch knife. So, as an American, I know exactly how this would all go down here in the United States. This man would be shot, and in all likelihood, he'd be killed. And that's totally normal here in the United States, especially in this kind of situation. If somebody is threatening the police, especially with a deadly weapon like a gun or a knife, American police, like I think almost 100% of the time, will shoot them. And that is pretty much the standard procedure here, for better or for worse, that's pretty much how it goes down. So I'm actually really curious to see how British police handle this whole crazy situation. So let's take a look.
Put it down, put it down. Put down the knife. Spray! Put it down!
Spray?
Put it down!
Whoa! Whoa! This is terrifying, by the way. Because a person with a knife, like, it's entirely unpredictable. They can close that distance between you in an instant. They could run at you, start stabbing wildly. This is a very scary situation. So already I have a lot of respect for these British police officers for really keeping their heads, really maintaining, a lot of a clear head and a clear mind, and actually shouting instructions at him. They're actually trying to get him to stop. Make no mistake, at this point right here, basically where I paused the video, this man in the United States, this man would be shot dead. No question about that. And the way that our, police system works, the police would face no repercussions for that. That's totally legal for police to shoot them in this case. But I don't know. It looks like in the UK, it sounded like they were talking about, look at this. They're talking about spraying him. Spraying him with like pepper spray or mace or a non-deadly weapon. So a part of me, the American side of me is like, what are you doing? Like, defend yourself. He could kill you if he took you by surprise and hit you in the neck. It could happen in an instant. But the other part of me is like, I have a lot of respect for the British police trying to not kill somebody. Killing another human being, no matter what they're, regardless if they're a criminal or they're, attacking you, it's not a pleasant thought. It's not a good thing when a human being dies. So another part of me has a lot of respect for how British police are going about this. I can't believe they're just like using spray.
Spray! Put it down! Put it down! Come on! Put it down!
Oh my God! This is insane. This is crazy. This guy is clearly out of his mind. The fact that the British police have the restraint right now, are they carrying guns? Like, do they have guns? Is that an option? Or I don't know. I almost want to say not all British police carry guns, right? I know that it's different. This guy, Frankly, in the United States, when this guy answered his door with the knife, if he didn't put it down in like 5 seconds, he probably would have been shot dead. This guy's like going for a walk. He's getting his exercise in, and he's still going.
Put it down! Put down the knife! Put it down!
This is unbelievable to me. Like, in a bad way and a good way. He is swinging the knife. He clearly intends to kill them. He has blatant disregard for these officers' lives. Do they have a taser? Are they hitting him with the spray? I am so impressed just at the restraint that the officers are showing right now, because their lives are very much in danger.
Put it down! Put it down!
Oh my god.
Put it down! Get on the
What?
floor! Get on the
Oh
floor!
my god!
Arrest for possession of offensive weapon.
Okay.
Attempted wounding on ourselves.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is too much. This is crazy. You don't really see a lot of video, like police body camera footage like this in America, because it would never get to this point. It would never get to the point where they're tackling them, or were they swinging like a baton, like a bat at them at one point? He has a knife.
Put it down! Put it down!
Yeah. Her in the back. God bless her. She's trying to bop him on the back of the head with a bat, I think.
Put it down! Get on the floor! Get on the floor! You're under arrest for
Oh
possession of
my.
offensive weapon.
Okay.
Attempted wounding on ourselves.
The wherewithal of these officers to handle it like this, unbelievable. And you know what? They saved a life today. Whenever this happened, they saved this man's life. This man should be thanking them, or maybe thanking his lucky stars that this happened in Britain and not in the United States. He should be thankful for that, because I cannot believe this ended like peacefully. In other words, with no one dying or really hurt. I don't know. I don't know what I think about this. I really think these British officers could have been seriously hurt or killed. When at the end he says, "Oh, you're under arrest for trying to wound an officer." He wasn't trying to wound you. He was trying to kill you. He should go to jail for attempted murder, swinging a knife around like that.
You're under arrest for possession of offensive
He was sentenced to 3.5 years. Good.
weapon.
Okay.
Attempted wounding on ourselves.
Okay.
And threats to cause criminal damage.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what? You know, honestly, at the end of the video, it looked like this guy pretty much gave up after, like, this whole thing was only happened, like, that was like 30 seconds. In ways, it felt quicker than that. It all happens so fast when you're in it, I'm sure. But he went from swinging and attacking them to sort of giving up and trying to run away and getting tackled. And then he's like, okay, fine, I give up. Like, so in this instance, this is maybe a perfect example of how the British police approach saved a life. Like, I don't know what your approach is, like, technically what British police are allowed to do, but gosh, on one hand, I'm terrified for British police for handling it like this. On the other hand, like, a round of applause. Like, you have my respect. That is unbelievable. You would never see an American police officer with this much patience and, like, a clear mind. Like, the clarity of thought you need to have to act and perform like this, like, in this real of a dangerous situation, that's really impressive. I actually have a little bit of explanation here that I wanted to take a look at. I was trying to research and get an idea of what British police are allowed to do and what the British police approach is like compared to American police. So it says British police generally take a very different approach to situations involving knives or other weapons compared to American police. Yeah, no kidding. This guy is alive somehow. The training philosophy, policing by consent. Policing by consent. British policing operates on the principle of policing by consent, meaning officers are seen as part of the community, not an occupying force. What a fascinating concept. The idea is to gain cooperation and maintain public trust, not to enforce compliance through fear. So in general, British police are there to what an incredible concept. Like this shouldn't be that strange to me, but I think we could use more of this philosophy in America. Police are there to serve the community and not to scare the community, but to enforce the law and maintain public trust. The use of force is considered a last resort. That's different. Officers are expected to de escalate when possible. That's different than America. The public expects accountability if lethal force is used. It's very rare and heavily scrutinized. Whoa! This is way different from the expectations we have in the United States. And honestly, I like this. I don't want to see police officers in so much danger, although that is, by definition, part of the job of being a police officer. It's going to happen. There's a balance. I think American police are terrible. If you've watched American police videos or anything, terrible at de-escalating or trying to like lower the temperature, and lethal force being a last resort. Give me a break. Basically, in America, if the officer thinks their life is in any danger at all, they can use lethal force. End of story. And there's very rarely real accountability. There's been a lot of crazy, you could say murders, basically, where American police murder people by breaking down the wrong door to the wrong house or giving confusing instructions to people. Oh, put your hands on your head. No, put your hands on the ground. Put your hands out behind and get on one foot. And like the person can't follow the instructions or they're not being clear and they get shot because they can't follow confusing instructions. I've seen stuff like that. So it was actually really, really sort of, this was tense, but refreshing in a way to see like a different police style and how it can be effective. British police are trained in communication, negotiation, time-buying tactics. This whole situation happened very, very, very quickly. There wasn't much communication other than drop it, stop, drop it. But they did an amazing job at keeping their distance, talking to the suspect relatively calmly for the situation. If this was American police, I think they'd literally be yelling, "Stop or you're going to die." Seriously, that's literally a command that American police can shout. Stop or you're going to die. You're going to get shot. And then that's about it. The use of non-lethal tools. American police do use tasers. There is that. But I haven't seen batons or pepper spray almost ever. Maybe never. And that policewoman was literally trying to take that guy on with her baton. I don't know. I think like Americans could really benefit from seeing this and just seeing like it's kind of normal in America. Like if someone has a knife or certainly if someone has a gun, that's understandable. Like that's a whole different situation. If someone has a gun, like everybody's life is in imminent danger and you probably do have to shoot them in a lot of cases. But if they have a knife or are just on drugs or having a manic episode or unarmed, or it's sad the amount of people in America that end up getting shot by doing the wrong thing, and how much leeway American police have. As it says here, the public expects accountability if lethal force is used. In America, there's not that much accountability. But yeah, I could go on and on about this. This was really quite eye-opening. I've never seen a police officer act like that in such a situation, such a crazy, life-threatening situation. Incredible, actually. And nobody died. That's really awesome. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on British police taking on this guy with a knife and really, or your thoughts on British police tactics and how they approach situations like this versus American police. That'd be interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and seeing British things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.